So here's the thing. I talk a lot about how it's often just repetition. And, in order to improve, to get better at something, it's just sheer repetition, doing it over and over and over again. And often the game is a game of survival rather than a game of performance. And the thing is that those kind of go hand in hand. And that's where I want to talk about is, yes, I'm a big believer in the fact of just repeating in a certain area and doing it over again. But what you don't realize is that when you repeat over again, you often get better at that particular thing. And then you can actually choose things in a much different way, a much more profound way than somebody that was looking at the get-go, and looking at it and looking to sort of strategize about something. And this is actually a bit of a challenge once you've been doing a long time because you can't sort of see other things that pop up, um, other opportunities that pop up because you're sort of focused in a particular area and you're really good at it. But, at the same time, that is often the sort of secret sauce is to work at a particular domain as long as you possibly can. Because what ends up happening is that you could see all sorts of different opportunities that other people cannot see. And then your refined skill in that area actually gets a little better. I was thinking about, somebody that's in a profession where they have a lot of opportunity and you're looking at like trading, for example, right? Like, do I believe that somebody off the street is going to make terrible trading decisions? Yes, I absolutely believe that. And do I believe that, even after 5 years, you're going to make at sort of making trades, so financial trades, right? Playing the stock market. You're going to make terrible trades. Yes, I do believe that. But is somebody that's done it for 25 years going to do a better job and have a better track record than somebody that has only done it for a year or 5 years? Yeah, absolutely. Right. They will be much better at it. And the more that you sort of invest in and work at it, you're probably going to be much better at the domain than what you're thinking about. And this goes for any domain, right? It goes for like fashion. You'd be able to pick out fashion trends a little bit better. This goes for, social media, picking the sort of platforms or whatever that you want to work in, the content that you want to provide. Like all of these particular things, you do learn, you do get better as you do it. And it's not necessarily just a game of survival in that way. But as you do it, you do get better. You look at the surroundings, you understand things a little bit more. You understand why things actually happen. That's why I often think like, the idea of retirement, other than for just pure pleasure, right, doesn't quite make sense to me. I think like some labor, yes, your body does wear out. It does get tired. Not necessarily wear out, but it just, it just gets tired. You get tired of doing that. You want to do something else. You want to switch it up. I think, like, for sure, all of that makes sense. But the fact is that as you go in a profession, you actually do get better and better and better, right? Like there is a progression often where you sort of see things that other people don't see. And, even the younger folks that can do some things really quickly, all of that kind of stuff, they don't see the things that you see and the patterns that you might understand, right? So there is this definitely, the logic that people just get old, they get crusty and, they can't do anything. I think it doesn't really hold up many times because, what you might be looking at is somebody that's junior, of somebody that's like, why are they doing this thing? There may be reasons why they're not doing this thing that you don't understand. And there might be very good reasons why they're not doing this thing that you don't understand. They're just not voicing those ideas very well. But at the same time, you just might not be getting those things. And yes, sometimes the environment changes, and shaking things up and trying different things makes a big difference. But at the same time, often those people probably have made a lot of choices along the way that they did try those things. And then they know it works, and they're going to continue with those particular things. And so that's a bit of the challenge of trying something that you're really good at and sort of working with it for a long time, right? Where you have the sort of survival game, the more that you stick with it, the better you get. But at the same time, switching to things that are different, that don't quite fit with the mold of what you are currently doing right now, is an important thing as well. But it's hard to know when to try those things. What does it mean to explore different things? All of those things are really, really challenging. And that's that's the challenge that most people face as they go about of doing things, right? And so the idea of sticking with things, of working through things, is a really, really important thing. That's where I want to come back is, don't lose that. Like, even though I talk about that on this channel, right? Of just basically the survival game, of just lasting longer than everybody else. Now, as you do things, you do get better at it. You see things, you understand patterns that other people just simply don't see. And the longer that you're in the profession, you can sort of move in different directions that identify things that are just not quite clear to somebody else. And I encourage you to realize that, yeah, it's not just a survival game. You do get better. There are many, many skill aspects to almost everything. And the thing is, though, is that you do need to actually do the work. You need to put in as many reps as you possibly can to see those patterns. And the only way that I know how to get better, that I think is pretty universal. I think, that there's some variety for sure across individuals, across firms, but the only real secret that I know that I can tell people is just do things repeatedly, because you do get better at it and you see things that other people just don't. And I encourage you to think about that. How can you repeatedly do things as long as you possibly can so that you can get better at it, at picking things that other people simply just don't see, or selecting different ideas that other people just don't see. All right. Take care and have a wonderful day.